Alright, this is the next video where we're going to install the head, the intake manifold onto the head. I don't know what we're doing. I may not do anything. I may just sit here and talk and not do shit because I am kind of tired, but I need to get this done. So let's get started. Alright, so I'm going to clean out any water that might be down in the head bolt screw holes, whatever you want to call them, because you don't want to put your head bolts in and have water down in there. Normally I would take just the air compressor and spray air down in there, but I don't feel like setting that up. Let's get our head bolts put in. I guess studs is what they should be called. We have all of our nuts. The fucking airplane that's loud as fuck. Alright, we have our nuts and the washers. Goddamn scooter's loud as fuck. And we got our fastener assembly lube. And of course all the head studs. We're going to use our assembly lube. Maybe. Alright, we're going to put assembly lube on all of our bolts. Alright, and obviously, because this has a hex that goes up, this gets screwed into the block. Put some of that lube on there. There's a ton inside this packet, so you don't have to be conservative with it. Alright, we're going to use our 4mm hex, or whatever these things are called. And you're just going to hand tighten these. Really? My hands are greasy as fuck. Alright, I got the studs in. Some of them still had water in them, so I had to pull it out and make sure all the water was out. And also put the head guides, or whatever you call those things, in. There's two of them. Here's the heads, all nice and clean. There's the rest of the pieces, the cam. We need to clean the surface of the intake manifold. I'm just going to use sandpaper. Alright, we got that looking pretty clean. You need to get the fuel rail. Actually, I need to find all the bolts, or the nuts, to mount to the head. Alright, so I'm going to use this gasket again. It's one of those thermal type. It's used, but I mean, it's all I got, and it should work. And of course I can't find my 12mm socket, so we're just going to have to wrench it on. Well, I just found my 12mm socket. Of course it's the long extension, so it doesn't help much, but once I get it bolted down, I can tighten it better. Alright, let's get the head gasket on. This is the only metal head gasket, the multi-layer steel head gasket I could find for the D16a6. All the rest of them were that, I forget what it's called. It's like a graphite type head gasket, which those suck. This should be way better. Before I start torquing it down, there's a couple water lines. I'm gonna have to figure out where they go because it's been so long I don't really remember. Alright, I think I got it all figured out. I just need to connect everything. I'm not gonna bore you with that. Or here, I'll show you real quick. So on the A6, there's a hose that connects to the water pipe that goes across from the water pump all the way to the thermostat housing, and that is going to connect where this hose is, which I need to remove, but it's this hose. If I can get to it, it's this hose right here that's going to connect where that one is. And then this comes off the back of the what do you call it, the idle air control valve, and that's going to connect to the other little water line that connects to the back of the throttle, or the, what the fuck do you call it, the thermostat housing. And then the one that comes off the top right here, that connects to the throttle body. And then the other one off of the idle air control valve connects to the bottom of the throttle body. Wish I can show you a little bit better, but I hope that makes sense. But anyway, I'm going to connect them all and then we'll be back. Alright, so I had to take the head off again to get to this hose. It actually goes to the oil filter thing. That plugs into the intake manifold. And then this plugs into the idle air control valve. And then this goes into the intake manifold. That's the one that goes to the oil filter thing. And then obviously that's the bigger one. Alright, I'm going to put the head back on and connect all the water lines, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I got a little carried away. I got all the water lines connected. And then I went ahead and put the fuel rail on. Got the fuel filter, or fuel pressure regulator. Got that connected, buttoned up. I haven't quite got that on there yet, the brake booster. But as you can see, the sun is almost past the roof over there, so it's going down pretty quick at this point. I did put all the washers and nuts on there and just hand tightened them. What else did I do? That's it, really. Sorry I didn't record any of it, I forgot, but really all you do is there's a little gasket that goes right in there, a little round O-ring. You put into each one of these, and then you put the fuel rail with the injectors. You just slide it down in, and then on the back side there are, let's see here, right there, and then right there. You screw those down, and that holds your fuel rail. There's a few vacuum lines I'm not too sure about. Don't know where these two go, but luckily I have the Beagle, and so everything's pretty much exactly the same, even though it is a ZC engine. I think the only difference between the A6 and the ZC is the cam on the ZC is more aggressive than the A6. But I think I'm going to stop here, get all this cleaned up. We've got a mess. Let's see here. We've got a mess going on. I mean, look at that shit. I need to clean all this up. But I feel like I've accomplished a whole lot today. I still need to get the rotor on the passenger side, get that cleaned up, and then that C-clip on the ball joint, the lower ball joint, that needs to be put on. The radiator, the two coolers, the transmission and the power steering cooler. I'll have to put the power steering pump back on. Of course, the exhaust manifold. But I mean, most of it's done. Well, I need to get the rest of the head put back together, and so that's kind of important. And then obviously I'm gonna have to do the valve adjustment. So if you made it this far in the video, please type BHB in the comment section. I'd like to remind you that we have a Facebook group, Budget Honda Builders. I started this group to try to build a community, and plus, if you had questions, it's much easier for me to answer your questions in the Facebook group than it is in a YouTube chat. And so go ahead and join the group. It's not a for sale group, so please do not post your stuff that's for sale. It's a group to help each other with their builds. Post your builds. Just ask questions or answer questions for other members. And also, if you made it this far, which most people have not, because my average view time is like 5 minutes, but please go ahead and subscribe. 97% of my viewers are not subscribers, so please go ahead and subscribe and hit that like button. All that helps promote the videos, helps them the YouTube algorithm or whatever the fuck it is. So please subscribe, hit that like button, and I'll see you in the next video.